Hi guys, this video is going to be a review video for some of the Chapter 11 concepts that we have covered. So there's only 2 lessons in Chapter 11. It's pretty short, but it does have some really important things in it. The first lesson, if you can remember, is about squares and rectangles and the properties of each of those. And I'm hoping we're remembering, the different properties of a square and the different properties of a rectangle. And then 11.2 focused on composite figures or figures that are made up of multiple squares or rectangles and us trying to identify the unknown sides and then also figuring out the measurement of unknown angles within a square or rectangle. So we're going to review. Here's what you should do. I'm going to just pull up some questions and I would like you to, I'll read the question. You are going to pause it either on a piece of paper, write down your answer or solve the problem or do something on paper to solve it. And then when you're ready to hear the answer, you're going to press play. If you are just going to sit and listen to the whole thing, that's not really a great use of time because you aren't actually thinking of the answers. So my suggestion is to you solve them and then press play when you are ready so that you can hear an explanation of each thing. So number 1, how is a rectangle different from a square? A, it has 4 sides. B, it has 4 right angles. C, it has 2 pairs of parallel sides of different lengths. Or D, it has 4 equal sides. Pause the video, press play when you're ready. Okay, if I'm going to solve this, they want to know how a rectangle is different than a square. Already, I'm going to mark my rectangle and a square to show what they look like. So I want to know about how a rectangle is different than a square. Well, they both have 4 sides, so it can't be A. They both have 4 right angles, so it can't be B. And I know it can't be D because or I'm between C and D. So it says C has 2 pairs of parallel sides of different lengths. That would be a rectangle. And then D has 4 equal sides, and that would be a square. The question is, how is a rectangle different than a square? Well, a rectangle does not have 4 equal sides. A rectangle has 2 pairs of parallel sides, 1 pair, 2 parallel, and they are different lengths, meaning this side is different than these sides. So my answer for number 1 would be C. So check your answer. And then I'm going to read number 2, and you're going to pause it. Or actually, I lied. I'm going to go to the back. This one is a composite figure. It has a rectangle, and I'm not sure. I think that's probably a rectangle because it doesn't tell me otherwise. Find the unknown length of DE. So I would like to find DE. Pause it. Press play when you're ready. All right. Now what I'm doing is I oftentimes look, if I have DE, I take this side is 15. So I pull it all the way over, and I know that this whole side is going to be 15. Well, right now I'm seeing that that's an 8. So I have my whole is 15. I want to chop off the 8. 15 minus 8 is 7. And then I need to pull this over, and I'm trying to find that is my unknown. But, I don't want to forget. My answer is not 7 because look at this little one up here, this 3. I'm going to pull that over, and I see that that is 3. So I also have to chop off that 3. And 7 minus 3 is 4. So my answer is this extra piece right here has to be 4. So I see DE would be D4. And I see how they get you 15. That's not right. And I can see why you would put 3. That's not right. And the answer is not 8. So the answer for that one is D. All right, let's check this one. Number 2, what is the sum of the lengths of the unknown sides? Pause it, solve it, then press play. I'm noticing that it says the word sum, which I know is addition, and it says the lengths of the unknown sides. My unknown sides are, I'm trying to find this and this. If it means the sum, it means they want me to add them. So this looks like a rectangle, so I'm assuming that if this side is 10, then this side is also 10. And if this side is 5, then this side is also 5. Look at how they're trying to trick you. So they put 5 there, but that's not the answer. They put 10 there, that's not the answer. They want to know the sum of the unknown sides. Well, 10 plus 5 is 15, so my answer, it would be B. The next problem says ABCD is a square. What is the measure of angle B? So I'm going to find B, not D. That says D. I want to find B. Oh, I like this one because I know that if I know that this is square, I know the corner, the whole angle is 90 degrees. And if I have 45, I need to take it away. And I have 45 degrees left, so my answer would be B. Next problem, pause it. When you're ready, press play. What is the sum, again, of the lengths of the unknown sides. I'm going to find my unknown sides. Okay. And if this is a square and I see these tick marks, that I know if this side's 14, then all of the sides are 14. So that's 14 and that's 14. It can't be A because they want the sum of them. So I'm going to add 14 plus 14, which is 28. So I know my answer is B. Now I'm going to try this one. Find the unknown length of the figure. And where's my, oh, A to H is my unknown length. Pause it, solve it, press play. A to H. So, okay, again, I'm looking for, this is a vertical line, so I'm only worrying about the vertical line. So I have this one, I have this one, and I have this one. And if I pull all of them over, that will equal whatever that line is. So, first of all, I'm seeing that this is 2. And look, it has that tick mark. So I know that anything with a tick mark, right there is a tick mark. So I know that one's 2. And right there's a tick mark, so that one's 2. So I know that I have 3 2s, or 2, 4, 6. So my answer for AH would be 6. Now, this one, ABCD is a square. What is the measure of angle A? So here's my angle A. Pause it, and then press play. I know if this is a square that the angle for BCD would be 90 degrees, and I see that I have a 45, so I'm going to chop off my 45 first. And I have 45 left, but oop, I've got this 28. I need to get rid of that. And I know that if I subtract that, I end up getting 27. So angle A must be 27. If you are ever unsure, you can definitely check this, because if you add 45 plus 27 plus 28, you should get 90 degrees. If you don't get 90 degrees, then somewhere you made a mistake. The next problem, the length of ABCD, so like ABCD, is twice its width. Ooh, so let's think. Length is the longer side, and width would be like the shorter, fatter, wider side. So if I'm thinking that I know that AB is the length, and I know that BC is going to be the width. So this is 2 times whatever the width is. So if the width is 7, then the length has to be 14. Or if the width is 5, then the length has to be 10. But they're telling me something else. They're telling me that if I add A to B plus B to C, I will get 9 feet. So if I take this side plus this side, I get 9. So I'm going to think, first of all, if I'm adding 9, I'm going to kind of guess and check here. And I'm going to think if this is 5 and this is 4, because I know my length is longer. 5 plus 4 is 9. However, that can't be the answer. That can't be the answer because they're saying that this is 2 times what this is. Well, if this is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, not 5. So that can't work. So I'm trying to find AB. Another strategy could be to put the numbers over here, your multiple choice over here. So if they are telling me that AB is 9, I can guess and check that way. I'm actually going to think again of what plus what is 9. And I know that 6 plus 3 is 9. And I know that my longer side should be the bigger number. So I'm going to put 6 here. And I'm going to put 3 here. So let's check. 6 plus 3 is 9, so that works. But then I have to check, is the length twice the width? Well, if my width is 3 times 2 6? It is. So it checks off in both categories. So here's the tricky part. Is my answer 3 or is my answer 6? It says find AB. Here's AB. AB is 6. Let's do another one. Pause the video to solve. It says find the measure of angle B. Here's my B. This is a rectangle, so I know that the corner is 90 degrees. So I'm going to do 90 minus 32. And I would get 58 degrees left. So then I know that angle B must be D, 58 degrees. Now I'm going to try this one. Find the unknown length. I'm guessing is this long line. The figure is made up of 2 identical rectangles. Identical means the exact same. So this rectangle is exactly the same as this one. So I would pause this, try to solve this. This is a good challenging one, and see if you can figure it out. Okay, I'm going to think about this. So if this is 8, I know this side is 8. And if this piece is 3, I need to think 3 plus what gets me to 8? And I know that answer is 5. So that little piece is 5. Again, if this is 8 and these are identical rectangles, then this is also 8, okay? And so if this is 5, I know that this has to be 3. So I'm trying to find this whole side, and I kind of see this whole side right here. So I can add it all together. So I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and I see that this whole side is 11, which makes sense because if this is 8 and this is 3, that also would be 11. So my length for this one would be D11. Let's try another one. Find the measure of angle C. Angle C is right here. Again, this is a rectangle, so I know that I am taking not 48 from 90. And I get 42 is left over. And so I know that angle C is B 42 degrees. Let's check number 14. Let's see. ABCD is a rectangle. What is the measure of angle DAC in degrees? Okay, DAC. DAC. They want me to figure out what that is in degrees. Well, if this is a rectangle, I know this whole corner is 90 degrees, and I see that I have 60, so I need to take away the 60, and I get 30 left. So I know that my answer would be angle DAC equals 30, which kind of annoys me because that's way bigger than 30 degrees, but that's, I guess, why you can't rely on a protractor for these. You have to kind of look and use the math to solve these problems. All right, number 18. I know that we're jumping around with numbers because I did not, these cards are out of order, so sorry. What is the sum, keyword, of the lengths of the unlabeled sides? All right, so I've got two shapes. I've got a square, and I've got, if this is a square, all of those are the same, and if this is a rectangle, so I need to find my unknown sides. So my unknown sides, probably highlighter. My unknown sides are this one, this one, this one, this one. Unknown, means not or unlabeled, so that means not labeled sides. So if this is a square, I know that this is 1 and this is 1. So right now, that I have 2. Over here, if this side's 1, I know this side is 1. And if this side's 3, this side is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. But I want the sum of both of those. So I'm going to do 2 plus 4. So my answer is the sum would be 6 centimeters. That's the sum of the unknown sides. All right. Let's see if I'm doing this one. The figure is made up of 2 squares. So look at, here's one big square and here's a smaller square. One with 12-inch sides and the other with 7-inch sides. Well, common sense is telling me that the bigger one is the 12 inches. So I know that this is 12. So all of those big sides are the same. And this is 7. So I know all of those little sides are the same. Okay. Find QR. Okay. Well, this is a big square and this side is 12. I know that all of the sides are 12. So I have 12 here. And if this is this little square, I know this side is 7 and this side is 7. I need to figure out, I have a whole and a part and I'm missing another part. So I need to get rid of my one part to find the other. So I'm going to do 12 minus 7. And then I know that QR would be 5. 5 what? Does it say? 5 inches. Always think about your labels, 5 inches. All right. This one we are now in the rectangle PQRS. So look, PQRS. Side PQ is 6 inches. And it's a rectangle. So I know this is the same as this. And these two are the same as this. Which other line segment has the length of 6 inches? Well, I just answered my question. Line SR would have the same, would be the answer. All right, let's do this side. What is the sum of the lengths of the unlabeled sides? So right now I need to find my unlabeled. So there's that one, and I guess this one. So I need to find the sum of those two sides. Oh, if up here, and then I'm trying to drag it down to here, and I know those are the same. Well, if I have a part and a part, and that one's 8 and one's 3, if I want to find the whole, I have to add them, so I know that's 11. So then that means that down here is 11. So DC is 11. And now if B to C is 12, I know that this whole side is 12. And look, I've got this 3, which would go here. I have a whole and a part, so I need to take 12 minus 3, which is 9. And then I know that this must be 9, because 9 plus 3 is 12. So AF equals 9. But the answer says what's the sum of those two lengths. So I have to add them. So I get the sum of them is 20. Did I do that right? Wait, let me check. 12, 12. That's definitely 9. A to F. Oh, wait. DC. Yeah. If I'm wrong on that one, I got confused for a second. Let me know. Next one. Is this figure a rectangle? Why or why not? First of all, I'm hoping you're saying no. Second of all, you need to have an actual reason, like why not. So I'm noticing that opposite sides are equal, so that works out. This side is parallel and this side is parallel. That works out. The only thing that this does not have is it needs to have 4 right angles. So this does not. Those are not right angles. So I would say no because it doesn't have right angles. Next problem. In the rectangle ABCD, the measure of angle DBC is 25 degrees. So I know that this is 25 degrees. What is the measure of... Hi, Mrs. Markov.
Hi, everybody.
We're solving. We only have a few more left. I need to do 90 because the whole thing is 90 minus 25. 8, 7, so I get 65. So I know ABD is 65 degrees. Don't forget your little degree symbol. This one, oh, remember this one? The figure is made up of a big square. There's my big square. So if it's a square, I know all the sides are the same. And 2 smaller identical squares. Remember, identical means the same. So whatever this is, that is. What is the least possible length of segment AB? So this. So here's where things get tricky. This one is a hard one. I would suggest maybe plugging this in and let's see what our possible answers are. First of all, they want to know the least possible length. So I'm trying to find the smallest possible thing. So I want to know AB. It can't be A because this is already 3, so this has to be 3. So it has to be bigger than 3 because these can't be 0. 0 is nothing.
It's not a measurement.
So you can't have a square that's 0 or else it wouldn't be drawn there. So that wouldn't work out. B says 4, so let's see if AB can be 4. Well, this could be 3, but if I make this a 1, this can't be a 0. That this is a 1, then this also has to be a 1, so that wouldn't work. And I bet you some of you are thinking, well, you could make it a half, but you can't because I'm going to make this has to be whole numbers at this point. So it cannot be 4. Then it says 5. Well, let's think. If I put 5 there, if this is 3, I could make this a 1, and I could make this a 1, and 3, 4, 5, so that's a maybe. 9. If that's a 3, I could make all of these 3s, and that also could be a maybe. Here's the tricky part. They want to know the least possible length. The least possible one that could work would be 5. And I bet some of you are like, but wait, that looks like 3 and these look like 3. If it doesn't have the tick marks, then you cannot assume that. So if they want the least possible number that we all have, the whole number, is a 1. So then my least possible options could be, these could be 1. So my answer would be 5. All right, last problem. Let me find a good one.
Do another length one.
One of these.
Like the one underneath you. This one. I would do this one.
This one? All right, last one. Find the length of the unknown side. I'm going to use my highlighter. Where's the unknown? Right there. All right. So I'm trying to find a vertical line, so I'm only worrying about vertical lines. Remember, vertical is like this. Horizontal is like this. I am not caring about vertical lines or horizontal because this is vertical. So again, knowing my properties of a rectangle, if this whole side is 8, then this whole side has to be 8. The tricky part is I'm only trying to find a part of that. So my whole is 8. I need to find another line that would match. And if I'm looking here, I see this 2. I can bring that over and finish that right there. But at this point, my highlighted part doesn't care about that 2, so I need to get rid of it. So I know that if I have 8 and I take away 2, I will have 6 left over. So then this side must be 6. And I can check it because 6 plus 2 is 8, and if that side's 8, that side is 8. So your answer for number 23 would be not just 6 feet. You need to check your labels. Hopefully this was helpful for you to study. If you have any questions or if I made any mistakes, feel free to let me know in the comment section, as you always do.
Made it all the way to the end. You can come in and tell us scarf.
Scarf.
As the magic word.
And we will know that you didn't lie. Don't tell anybody this. You're sworn to secrecy.
Right.
Enjoy your snow day if you have one. Hopefully this was helpful. Bye, guys.